Welcome. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor. Thank you for joining us today and every Tuesday from noon to 1 for BizTechTalk, where we're hosting discussions with local and national business leaders.
Throughout our show, we're going to be talking to a variety of high-tech and business professionals about the latest technology and business trends which are happening today and coming tomorrow. And well, today is a pretty cool day, so we're going to be talking to an invention company, Quirky.com. But before we get into that, we want to talk a little bit about last week. We had a great conversation with Calvin Goings, who's the assistant associate. I can't remember that title. National SBA assistant associate director for the SBA nationally. Is that about right?
That's about right.
Yeah, okay. It was a long title. I guess the bigger up you get, the longer the title is.
It was great to have him come home and talk a little bit about, the three key things that they're focused on is capital, contracting, counseling, and he pointed out, one of the points that he made was talking about that 504 program, their loan guarantee, where business owners
expanding your business
can get into long-term fixed rate, 20 years.
Yeah, that was the thing that was cool. I was talking to somebody this last week, and they said it's usually 10, and they're giving a 20-year program. So I've already got people asking me, where do I find out more?
For 10, well, and they can go to sba.gov. But one of the things in my email inbox this morning was an email that come out, and since October 1 of last year up until the 31st of March of this year, the Seattle Spokane SBA, the region there, has given out $61,415,000 through 78 loans through this 504 guarantee program. So that's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive, and that's a big investment right here locally, and that's awesome.
So the SBA is doing that all around the nation, and but how it affects us here in creating jobs and being able to help business owners really secure their future. I thought Calvin did a great job, not only joining us on the radio show,
but at the executive forum that evening. We had a nice turnout. We had several people, lots of interesting questions, and people really did get engaged. And that was kind of nice having him right there to answer those things and getting it straight from the horse's mouth.
Well, yep, and so kind of closing out last week's executive forum, I think we're on target to have another executive forum next month.
Yes, we're going to bring in Tom Pearson, the president and CEO of the Tacoma Pierce County Chamber of Commerce. Going to talk a little bit about what they're going to do to help businesses grow and prosper in the community here, right here in Pierce County. Got some new programs that they're thinking about putting together and how they work together. So not only do they focus on just the local Tacoma, but out in the outer lying areas of all of Pierce County to bring us all together and kind of synergize and like build community and business.
And I think you're seeing a transformation of the Tacoma Pierce County Chamber and some of the key points that they're making to make some changes. And hopefully Tom will be talking about their key objectives.
Well, we'll just ask him. We'll make sure he talks about it. How's that? Hey, that's really kind of exciting, and I got to say thanks a lot, because we did spend a little bit of time last week, and we talked about getting veteran-owned businesses out there and getting people out there to think about utilizing their services. You can go to va.gov, and you can go to the Department of Veterans Affairs for dva.wa.gov, and you can look for registered veteran-owned businesses there. And always think about hiring a vet whenever you're looking for somebody to fill a position, because, like we always say, the veterans here, they've served their country, and they've earned the right to earn the opportunity to work for you and show you what they can do. And they don't understand the meaning of the word quit.
Well, and thinking about not understanding the word quit, our guest today, I think that's going to be another one of those things on being able to pool resources, and I'm excited to get to Quirky. But before we do that, why don't we go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back and introduce our guest.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So if when we go to break here, we want to make sure that everybody knows that we're talking on BizTechTalk on Clay 1180. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be right back after these short messages from those individuals who sponsor us every day.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
Hi, Georgia. I heard the pipes burst in your office and you have to rebuild everything. Are you able to take care of business?
Bob, the flood was a minor hiccup. We are rebuilding, but thanks to our partnership with MyNetworkCompany.com and their office in an Icon Cloud solution, we work from anywhere at any time. With access to all of our applications and customer data, I never have to worry about expensive backups, hardware, or complicated servers. We are more productive now than ever. Plus, we turned our capital IT purchases into monthly operating expenses with a worry-free IT guarantee in the process. I recommend you call MyNetworkCompany.com today.
Few things say more about your business than the quality of the photos in your ads and on your website. Corporate photographer Rick Doms specializes in custom photography for discriminating corporations around the world and right here in Tacoma. Rick's photos have graced the pages of Forbes, Fortune, Barron's, the Wall Street Journal, and the marketing materials of a host of great American companies. Companies like yours. See what Rick Doms photography can do for your business on the web at rickdoms.com. RICKDAHMS.com.
AimBiz.com brings you the life of a business website. The majority of business websites can't be found by search engines, so their owners lose customers and money. An AIM Business website wins new customers on Google and Facebook. Imagine your website with great content management, an integrated blog, clean designs, and clear messages. To top it off, at AimBiz.com, you get a free website design mock-up before you ever spend a dime. For more information, go to AimBiz.com. That's AIMBIZ.com.
Welcome back to BizTechTalk. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor.
Hey, we're here every Tuesday, noon to 1, so visit us at BizTechTalk.net. Listen to our show, download our podcast, and email us with your comments or suggestions at info@BizTechTalk.net. Today, we're here talking to Quirky.com, and we're going to be bringing on a couple of folks to talk about the things that they're doing there.
Yeah, I think first let's bring on Bear Nagy. He's their community ambassador, and he speaks with new and old inventors on how to use the process and the site, and he's going to educate us on the process.
We've also got a guy, Josh, he'll join it, Josh Wright, who's an inventor, so he'll join us a little bit later.
And that's going to be exciting because I think that's what's really going to blend this together is by being able to bring both of them on. But, just to give Baron a brief introduction, he was born and raised, born in Hong Kong, but actually raised in Connecticut. And so I guess he says he's from either, but he's a Columbia grad and went to school in Columbia. And
well, we can't hold that against him.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he's WSU and UW people out here, and us PLU grads. Come on.
Well, I'm a Saluki. So.
There you go.
So anyway,
okay.
but he's a community ambassador for Quirky, and so Baron, it's nice to have you. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh yeah, it's a real pleasure, guys. Thanks so much for inviting us on.
Hey, you guys are coming to us all the way from New York, right?
Yep. Well, we're talking to you right out of our office here in Chelsea in Manhattan.
And it's amazing. You're right down there downtown, and you guys are doing some really cool stuff. So right to the chase, what is Quirky in a nutshell? Give us that idea.
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, Quirky is a website for social product development that everyday folks can use to submit their ideas for inventions and then potentially have them developed into a real product.
So how do people join, or how do they get involved with Quirky?
Well, the cool thing about Quirky is that it's actually the entire process is handled through our website, and so all folks would have to do, to get involved is to go to Quirky.com and sign up for an account, and through that they can do everything from submit ideas for inventions to participating in the process, and then even buying the products that inventors have submitted directly off the website.
So when you say that the people are out there, they may get their product developed or something like that. How does that process? What's that all about when you say there? So describe the whole process of what happens when you say, I've got an idea and I want to get it. It's the next big thing out there. Better than sliced bread.
Well, product development and what most people would call invention it's a very difficult process, and it's especially difficult for someone who's working on their own. If you're an inventor and you have an idea for this cool product, but you're not an engineer or someone who's in product development with the connections, developing that product into a finished form can take a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of expertise that that folks don't have. And I've talked with people who have spent $150,000 on an invention idea, never to see it come to market, just because they didn't have the right connections, they didn't know how to go through the process. So what Quirky was set up to do is give people a real honest shot of having their product developed without having to go through all of that work and pay the cost that may be prohibitively high. And so one of the great things about Quirky is that we do ask for a $10 submission fee when folks are submitting ideas, but beyond that you'll never be asked to pay anything. And Quirky will then if we select the product for development, provide all the expertise you need to get that product the real shot it needs to be developed. So we have everything from designers to to lawyers to help with the patent applications, to the marketing and sales team to help to get it out into stores. And so, for people who may not have the expertise to develop a product independently, Quirky was set up to be something that they can use to get their idea out there.
Is that all for $10?
Yeah, all for $10, and we have a policy of the only thing that we will ever charge for on the site is the initial idea submission, and then if you want to buy a product. But our motto is making invention accessible, and so it was really important to us that that anyone be able to use this service, that it's not something you have to pay $5,000 or $10,000 to do. That all you need is an internet connection and a $10 bill to get your idea out there.
Now, are the inventors that are coming up with the ideas, are they signing over their rights to the product then?
Well, when they submit the idea to Quirky, they're definitely not signing over anything. The intellectual property rights to the idea are still entirely theirs throughout that submission process. However, when Quirky selects a product for development, we do ask that ownership of that intellectual property get passed to Quirky, because we'll then be putting in the full cost of development and taking on the risk of that project. But the inventor is definitely very much involved in the process. They're an integral part to how we do the development. And so, while the ownership of the idea may be transferred for that reason, it's certainly not like you're handing over your idea to somebody else to have them, just work on it and you won't be involved.
Well, what about being paid? That's why I think most people want to make sure that when they hand over their idea, that it's kind of, it's counterintuitive to say I'm giving away all of my rights to this intellectual property, and what's my assurances that I'm going to make sure that I get my money back? Or if you make Fortune sell 1 million units of this thing, what do I get out of that?
Oh yeah, well, of course. No, we definitely don't want to give people the impression that we're not going to be paying them. No, that whenever we develop a product with the inventor, they get a royalty percentage for that product for as long as we sell it once it goes out to retail. So
how does that work?
Well, it's based on a system called influence, and essentially, influence is a way that we measure any one person's contribution to an idea. So, when we sell a product at retail, 30% of the direct sale revenue, which is sales through our website, and 10% of the indirect sale revenue, which is sales through outside retailers like Target or Amazon or Bed Bath & Beyond, that is going directly to the community members who help to develop an idea, and because we reward anyone who is contributing to the development of a product on the website, and then a chunk of that, at least 37% of that community money, will be going to the inventor. Although that can be increased in cases where if the design that's submitted is more robust, if the inventor puts more work and more of their work goes into the finished design, then we want to make sure they get compensated for that. But it's all handled based on algorithms on the website, and we make sure that it's as transparent as possible. So at any one point, people know exactly how much of a percentage they have in a product they're working on, and they'll be able to to see how much, even how much money that product is making once it's in the store. So transparency on that information is very important to us, and getting it out there for people to see.
So Baron, we kind of jumped right to the gun on how much money can I make, or
everybody's wanting to know,
and that's what everybody wants to know. But can you kind of back us up a little bit and walk us through the process? I'm an inventor. I've got an idea. I've got the next great idea, And how do I go about, I've signed up online, and walk us through kind of the process and talk to us about the community.
Yeah, sure. So what happens is when you submit an idea, all you need to do is go to the site. And once you have an account, you would click on the Invent button at the top of the page, and you'll see this invention submission form. And essentially, what this is, it's a pitch. So you're describing, what your product does, how it would affect people's lives, what it is, basically giving, pitching it to people, saying why it should be developed, and then it'll be put on the site for 30 days. And one of the really cool things that Quirky does is we leverage our community of users as an actual resource, and they collaborate and they participate in the process. And so the first thing that happens is that people will vote on the ideas that are submitted, and they'll comment on them, giving anything from consumer feedback, saying, oh yeah, I'd like to buy this, or maybe they'll have a critique about how that idea can be improved. And then Quirky will look through all of those submissions and pick the ones that that people like and that we think have potential to develop into a real product. And at that point, we then begin working with that inventor. They'll work with our design team and our user community in this collaborative development process. So, the user community will pitch in with things like, a market research survey, something that we know we could really leverage a consumer base on, or, they'll be able to submit ideas for improving the form and function of the device. Things like the name and the tagline for a product are determined by our community. They submit their ideas.
So these are all influencers as well.
Yeah, and these are all people who will also get some royalty money for the product.
So you don't even have to have an idea to get some royalty. I mean, you could just help on ideas.
Yeah, there are people who just collaborate with other folks and will pitch in and then get money that way. And so it's great that we're not only helping the inventor to participate meaningfully in this process, but we're giving other people the opportunity to provide their expertise and their opinions and making these products the best that they can be, because obviously the more heads you put together, the better the final product is going to be.
So how is that participation level measured? How do you guys go about measuring? Say if I'm not the inventor, but I'm somebody that's part of the community,
a contributor and
contributing. How do you guys measure how much they're going to get paid, or what they're contributing, and so forth?
Well, for the purposes of fairness, the answer is mathematically. We want to make sure that we're working off a standardized system. So, if we have any one development project, for example, let's say we say it's time to pick the name now, we're going to do a naming round, then we'll say that 5% influence is up for grabs for that round, and influence is that, as I mentioned before, that percentage of the community pot that you're going to be entitled to. And so, if we're doing a naming round and we say that 5% influence is up for grabs, that means that 5% of all the money going to the community is then attributed to that round. And then the person who submitted the winning name that gets picked, if they submit a name and it gets the most votes and wins, then they'll get, I believe, about 3.75% of that 5%, and the rest will be distributed amongst all the people who voted for his idea. And so, it's standardized based on these kind of equations to make sure that we handle each development process fairly, because of course every process is going to be different, and we want to make sure that that we're handling them all in an equal and fair way.
So what happens when you don't have an idea that's picked, but it's a good idea, because you can't pick every idea, right?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you're right that while we do like to pick as many ideas as we can, unfortunately we have so many coming to the site that we can't pick them all. But one of the good things another great thing about Quirky is that even if your idea is not selected, you don't come away empty-handed, because if your idea expires and isn't picked, you're going to have this community feedback from all the other users on the site, telling you what they liked, what they didn't like, what they think can be improved, and so that will be valuable feedback for if maybe you want to take that idea and pursue it on your own with that feedback that you received, or oftentimes an idea that doesn't make it the first time will get some suggested improvements. The inventor will make some tweaks, some upgrades, and really push it to the next level, resubmit it, and then it will get selected the second time around. So we don't like to think of the expiration of an idea as a rejection. It's a process. It's a development process, and so we encourage our users to think constructively and always be moving about how they can improve their ideas, or if something doesn't get picked, why it wasn't picked, and how they can fix that.
Now, does the staff there at Quirky, they make the ultimate decision on which products actually?
Or is it the community?
Well, it's a combination of the two. The community voting is definitely a big part of how we handle the selection process. It gives us a sense of what the consumer body thinks about that idea. But the final selection is determined by the staff, and it happens at these Thursday staff evaluation meetings. What happens is every Thursday we get together as a company, everyone from the designers to the tech guys to the community ambassadors, and we sit down and we review a group of anywhere from 8 to 15 of the best ideas that were picked to be under consideration that week, and then we'll have a debate. We'll talk about the pros and the cons, and we'll have a vote to determine which ones we want to develop. And this meeting is actually broadcast live on the Quirky site through Ustream, which is a broadcasting platform on Ustream.tv website, and so it's actually something that people can watch happen live, just through the Quirky site.
Oh, that's really cool. Now, how much does ROI play into that final decision, or return on investment?
Well, obviously Quirky, wants to select products that that we know that we can do well, because obviously if we can't bring a product to market, then we're not helping ourselves, we're not helping the inventor. So it is important when we select a product that we know that it's something that we can develop well and bring to market successfully. However, the real thing that we look for is something that's innovative, something that that brings something into the world that isn't existing, whether it's a creative idea for a toy or a new solution to a problem that's out there. And so presumably if it's an innovative idea, then that's all it needs to catch on and do well if it's developed and marketed correctly. And so what we really look for is that impact and how we see it affecting the market for that product. So we're definitely okay with taking on risky ventures or things that are that may be more of a challenge for us, if it means that it's something that could really help people or have an impact.
Okay. Well, I think right now that's probably a good place for us to take a break, pay a few bills, and we'll come back right after these messages.
So thanks a lot for joining us here on KLAY 1180. We'll be right back.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
In today's economy, doing more with less has become the standard. Feeling overwhelmed or out of control does not have to be part of that standard. If you are looking for improved profitability and better teamwork, West Business Concepts' expertise in sales, organizational development, and finance offers real-world solutions today. West Business Concepts helps you develop clarity and focus on who matters most. Gain an edge over your competition. Visit westbusinessconcepts.com today. That's westbusinessconcepts.com.
Tacoma's Waterfront, a unique local asset providing recreational opportunities, jobs to support the local economy, and a safe haven for marine wildlife. The Tacoma Waterfront Association is dedicated to promoting Tacoma's waterfront. Join the TWA at its popular monthly meeting to learn more about Tacoma's waterfront and how you can be a part of making it great. Join the TWA on the second Wednesday of each month from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Center for Urban Waters to be a part of the community strength that's making a difference for Tacoma's greatest asset. It's waterfront. For more info, visit TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org. That's TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org.
In Pierce County, 17% of residents are food insecure. That's 1 in 6 people who are unsure where their next meal is coming from. Someone you know is going hungry. What can you do about it? Help support Fish Food Banks of Pierce County. For every dollar received, Fish's 8 food bank locations can distribute $7 worth of food to families in need. To learn more about stopping hunger here in Pierce County, go to fishfoodbanks.org. That's fishfoodbanks.org.
Hey, welcome back to BizTechTalk. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional with
Mel West, your business advisor.
Hey, we're here every Tuesday, noon to 1. Today, we are talking to Quirky.com with Baron Nagy, and we're going to be bringing on one of the inventors out there who have done a great job here in a few minutes, and that's Josh Wright. So before we do, we were talking about the community with Quirky and how that, all operates and so forth. So it sounds to me like, you've got a lot of opportunity, and you don't even have to have an invention to make some money at this site. Is that right, Baron?
Yeah, no. The idea is that that everyone has some a way to meaningfully contribute to this product development process. You don't have to be an engineer or an industrial designer to really contribute to this field. So, if you can have an invention and submit it to the site and do work on Quirky that way. But if you want to just go on and collaborate with other people and pitch in with your opinions on their product that are in development, then you can earn some royalty money on other people's products as well. So,
now, how big is your community today?
Oh well, we just actually hit 200,000 users recently, so it's pretty big, and they come from all around the world.
Does it cost to be somebody on there?
Nope. The signing up for an account is free, participating is free, and the only thing that would ever cost money is the $10 submission fee for an idea. But you can presumably use Quirky and never have to pay a dime if you're participating.
You can actually make money just by joining. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So tell me real quick, what is the funniest thing that's ever been submitted that you actually, that you said, oh, well, we're never going to do that, or well, hey, let's try that. Tell me what you think.
Man, well, we've had a lot of interesting ideas and in all sorts of crazy inventions. But probably the one that struck me most was this young kid. He submitted an idea through his parents for levitating shoes and shoes that would allow you to fly. And his reason for wanting to submit this invention was that it would help him do skateboard tricks more easily. And so I thought, well, if we were somehow able to develop levitating shoes, we could probably find more applications than just doing skateboard tricks. But everything from levitating shoes to time machines, Superman pills. One guy had an idea for using dried nose pickings as fuels. There have been a lot of.
I didn't say the grossest thing, the funniest thing.
So a lot of quirky ideas on Quirky.
But I suppose you're right. It is quirky, right?
We definitely, we want people to be creative and to be thinking open-mindedly about inventions. So,
well, what's your best seller?
Well, I think one of our most successful products is the Pivot Power, which was invented by a guy named Jake Zion, and it's a flexible power strip that allows you to bend each node in that power strip so that you can fit, those big bulky adapters that.
Oh yes, I've seen this product. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really does do what it's supposed to do, and that when you have a bulky adapter and a power strip and it's taking up multiple sockets.
Oh, looks like we lost you there. Josh, are you there?
Many as you'd like onto that.
There we go.
Okay, well, we lost you there for a second. You cut out for just a brief second, so it sounds like.
Oh, sorry.
So you said when you have a bulky adapter, and you can move it around. I know that you can move it around. The socket twists and so forth to adapt, and it's like a little snake, so to speak, right?
Yeah, and on top of that functionality, it really helps for putting your power strip in the exact right place, and so that has by far been probably been our biggest invention, and it's done really great for Jake. But one of about I think we have about 50 products out on the market right now.
Now, can you say what has been your biggest payout? Or as far as what an inventor or even somebody else in the community has made?
Yeah, it's actually, if you go to the shop on Quirky and you go to any individual products page, you can actually see how much money has been paid out to the community for that product and how many days it's been in the store.
Well, that's transparent.
And so I believe that and you can also see each inventor's percentage. And so I believe that Pivot Power might have been the biggest payout. I know that it was about $250 or maybe more, 250,000 has been paid out to the community, or probably close to 300,000 now, and I think about 120 of that have gone to the inventor. So it's been out for about a year, and the inventor has made about 120,000 off of it so far.
Very cool. So hey, that's a good time to talk about Josh. Josh Wright is one of your inventors. He's joining us today, and he's coming from Boynton Beach, Florida, and he's an IT pro. He's kind of somebody like us, like myself.
No, like you, not us, right?
Okay, yeah, okay. He really likes if it's cool, it can be done on a computer. He's really into it. He's a TV junkie. That's I try to get away from that these days, but I understand. And loves music, and he is madly in love with his wife. Now that is cool, Josh. I appreciate that, And I understand you've got a beautiful baby girl now.
I do.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your product and what it is.
And this is the practical side.
Tell us how it all happened.
Right?
What gave you the idea for your product, what it is, and how you came up with it, and so forth, and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, my invention was a modular shower caddy. We all have seen those. You can buy them at the store. They hang in your shower, and you put your shampoo bottles on them. And none of the ones on the market were any good. I've probably owned nearly all of them, and they fail. They fall down. They don't hold anything. They're all designed for one size bottle. So I was in the shower one day, trying to sort through my wife's 47 shampoo bottles, and to find my one bottle. And I just thought, there has to be a better way to do this.
She's got some complicated hair there.
It's out of control, in more ways than one. So that was it, So I had just found this website, Quirky, that lets you submit ideas, and they take your idea to market. And I decided to give it a shot. And in less than a year, I had a tangible product in my hand that was being sold online to through Target, through major retail. So it was pretty intense.
Well, so how are you doing? Are you making good money on this thing?
I am. I'm making a pretty substantial amount of money. I speak to this often when I recommend people go to the site. My wife was actually able to quit her job when we had our daughter, and she now stays home full time. And we wouldn't have been able to do that without the income being supplemented, through Quirky. So it's been pretty amazing.
So it looks like you've sold a little over 2,100 of these since it's launched about 6 months ago. But why did you decide to go the Quirky route?
I went the Quirky route because even being in product development companies and having things like that. I've worked in IT for product development companies before, and the process is it's so ridiculous for the average person to try to get through, to break through those walls. You have to know people in design. You have to know people in distributing and warehousing and manufacturing. And it's just so much for the average person. And all these other companies that are out there, it just you hear horror stories about people stealing ideas and you spending all this money up front to try to get your idea to these desks of people. And Quirky was the exact opposite of that. And they were basically just trying to bring invention to the normal person. And I just I had already been a member of the community and participated in a couple other projects. Pivot Power, actually, their most successful product being one of them, and I've made a substantial amount of money on that product, which I didn't even invent. So I just thought, I'm going to give it a shot, and that's where it all came from. That's why I went with Quirky. It was just kind of a no-brainer at that point.
From your perspective, how involved is the process? I mean, how intuitive is it?
It's very intuitive. The process is, it's so transparent. Even before you submit your idea, you can see how transparent the entire process is. You get status updates. What round the product is in, whether it's being named at the time or whether they have a clear design focus or where the product's headed. So you see everything before you even decide to submit your own idea. So you have a really clear understanding from the jump off that it's going to be in the right hands and that it's going to be okay. And as far as the process itself, you submit your idea, you hit a button and go, and you just at that point you're just waiting your time limit to see how the community is going to accept your product and if it's going to do well, if the staff's going to like it, and then hopefully during their staff eval your idea gets selected.
So was this your first submission for the shower station, or did you have to do it multiple times?
Shower station was submitted one time, and it was actually, I believe, my first idea submission to the site. I've submitted quite a few more since then. One or two that have taken off and gotten through the first rounds. But yeah, it was the first one.
So tell us about some of those that you're doing. Just real quickie.
Yeah, another idea that got selected by Quirky, and it's in the manufacturing process now, is called Ripple, and it's basically a sink strainer. You put it over your garbage disposal, and it has replaceable scented rings in it. So when you turn on the water in your sink and water runs over, it releases a scent that smells somewhat better than the rotting garbage that's in your disposal. So,
well, that's a practical solution,
Yeah, unless you have enemies,
practicality
maybe we can
from an IT guy, right?
we might be able to get some rotting scented ones for practical jokes, but for now we're sticking to just pleasant smelling rings.
You don't want the bathroom smelling.
So how long until that one's out on the market?
I'd have to actually get an update from Quirky. I've been so kind of crazy with some other things going on, with the baby and whatnot. I haven't, done my part and gotten in. But last I heard, it's actually being quoted at factories right now, so it shouldn't be that far away.
Well, you did your shower station, and it looks like it's selling for like $69. How did that price come about?
How did the price come out?
Yeah, how did the price come about? How did you determine the price? Because it sounds like you're going to come close to doing that with the sink ring Ripple as well in a few minutes.
Yeah, so the price all comes from Quirky. I guess they, it all revolves around some kind of system, I'm sure, with manufacturing cost and what they need to make on the retail side and what they're going to sell at the wholesale for, to Target and to things like that. So I'm not really involved in the pricing of the product, so that kind of all comes from there. And Baron, do you have any more insight into that?
Yeah, actually, what we're doing now is if you go to the upcoming section on our website, there's a list of all the products that have been fully designed, but we're still now trying to push to that retail phase, and we actually ask folks the kind of questions about the price that they want to pay for that product. So
yeah, I think I saw one of those just recently. How much you want to pay for this bowl?
Yeah, so it'll be what do you think is too much? What do you think would be too cheap? And what do you think is right? And from that we can determine an optimal price point for that product in retail, and then match that against the quotes we get from manufacturers to be able to really tell when we can market and sell a product successfully. And so that's another thing that we harness the community of users for to get this really valuable consumer information. And that's another way that you can actually earn influence on products as well and get some royalties.
So if you go in there and vote and you vote on a price, you could potentially earn a little bit of money off of that?
Yeah, the influence, you can vote on, you can provide pricing data on any of the products in that upcoming section, but the two most recent ones that they'll have little timers for that section within the first week, that's when you can submit pricing data for potential influence and royalties. But we're always collecting pricing data on all of our products just to make sure that we have the most accurate data possible.
Okay. Hey, I think this is another good time for us to take a quick break, pay a few bills, and we'll come back right after a few messages. You're listening to BizTechTalk on Clay 1180.
CloudSway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. CloudSway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. CloudSway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. CloudSway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
Few things say more about your business than the quality of the photos in your ads and on your website. Corporate photographer Rick Dom specializes in custom photography for discriminating corporations around the world and right here in Tacoma. Rick's photos have graced the pages of Forbes, Fortune, Barron's, the Wall Street Journal, and the marketing materials of a host of great American companies. Companies like yours. See what Rick Dom's photography can do for your business on the web at rickdoms.com. RICKDAHMS.com.
AimBiz.com brings you the life of a business website. The majority of business websites can't be found by search engines, so their owners lose customers and money. An AIM Business website wins new customers on Google and Facebook. Imagine your website with great content management, an integrated blog, clean designs, and clear messages. To top it off, at aimbiz.com, you get a free website design mock-up before you ever spend a dime. For more information, go to aimbiz.com. That's AIMBIZ.com.
Tacoma's Waterfront. A unique local asset providing recreational opportunities, jobs to support the local economy, and a safe haven for marine wildlife. The Tacoma Waterfront Association is dedicated to promoting Tacoma's waterfront. Join the TWA at its popular monthly meeting to learn more about Tacoma's waterfront and how you can be a part of making it great. Join the TWA on the second Wednesday of each month from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Center for Urban Waters to be a part of the community strength that's making a difference for Tacoma's greatest asset. It's waterfront. For more info, visit TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org. That's TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org.
In Pierce County, 17% of residents are food insecure. That's 1 in 6 people who are unsure where their next meal is coming from. Someone you know is going hungry. What can you do about it? Help support Fish Food Banks of Pierce County. For every dollar received, Fish's 8 food bank locations can distribute $7 worth of food to families in need. To learn more about stopping hunger here in Pierce County, go to fishfoodbanks.org. That's fishfoodbanks.org.
Hey, welcome back to BizTechTalk. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor.
Hey, we're here talking to Quirky.com with Baron Nagy and Josh Wright. And Josh has been an inventor who has created the shower station, which is new and different, and it's out there on the market. And Baron's telling us all about Quirky and how it operates in helping the invention community.
Well, and Baron, he's their community ambassador. So, Baron, I got a question, or even Josh, maybe you can help answer this. Are you able to influence, as an inventor, can you influence the community to vote in your favor to help push your product forward?
Yeah, so there's always going to be ways to try to game things. Inventors getting a lot of friends on the site to maybe come and vote for their idea, or pulling their family or their Twitter following to come and vote for the idea. I think one of the great things is that not only that you can that not only is there the community voting where that can be kind of gamed a little bit here and there. I think there's a lot to speak about the staff at the end of the day, being able to all come together and vote with the community on live, so they can see, and there's pure transparency. The staff can really, show us, this is why we're picking this idea, this is why we're not picking this idea, and get community feedback live. So I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Now, we're talking about different ideas and so forth. Now, what kind of ideas are not acceptable? I mean, are they just always just products or so forth and gadgets, or is there something, larger, or what are the parameters? Are there any?
Well, the only limitation is that the idea be for a physical consumer product, and so unfortunately we don't develop things like distinct apps or websites. But if it's a product that you can see sold in a Target, in a Bed Bath & Beyond, or on Amazon, anything from pet products and toys to tools, kitchen appliances, high-end electronics, essentially anything that that can be sold in a retail space would qualify as a Quirky product.
So what are some of your recent products or things that are just coming out that maybe you can talk about?
Well, recently with spring and summer coming up, I think folks will have food in the outdoors in the mind. So some of the things we came out with recently are Stem, which is this neat little citrus spritzer. You just it's a little head that you stick into a lemon or a lime, and you can actually spritz that citrus juice, the fresh juice, directly out of the fruit, so you don't have to squeeze it and then use that juice separately. We also have a bunch of new.
Can you cork the lemon?
You probably could.
Hey, there's my idea. You can submit that, and I want credit.
But they do have, on their website, they do have a full bottle service. Is it Versure?
Yeah, Versure. It's another one of our neat products. It's an all-in-one wine opener. So it has a neat double-bladed feature for cutting open the foil. allow you to open up the wine with a corkscrew, and then it also has not only a plug to keep the wine sealed, but also a spout to help you pour the wine. So really, with that one product, you have everything you need to open up a wine shop.
Now, does it have a little Venturi on it to help you open the wine too? That little Venturi spout? You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I think I believe it does have a little spout that you can remove from the product and then put on the wine bottle to help it pour more evenly.
Yeah. Well, there is a bunch of tools out there that when you put the cork in there and you pour through it, it actually throws bubbles through it to open the wine so it doesn't have to sit for a while.
Oh, like an aerator, yeah.
Yes, an aerator. It's a Venturi, if you will.
I don't believe that was included because...
there's another idea, and I want the credit for it.
I guess you're going to have to submit that, right?
Yeah, I better get online right now.
Yeah, just if you got $10, just submit it online.
No, I'm not submitting it online. I want credit for making this other one better. And that cork that we're going on the lemon, no problem.
Those are just a couple of a bunch of stuff we've got coming out. Bunch of great grilling products. Steak, which is this all-in-one grilling tool, and sliders, which is our better version of kebab skewers. Also, a product called Mercado, which is supposed to be the ultimate farmer's market or shopping bag that has everything you need for when you're going out and going to a farmer's market in the summer. So a lot of great things that will make summer a lot easier and a lot more fun.
Hey, no, and this isn't really business related, but everybody gets paid. Uncle Sam's going to want their piece of the pot. So does everybody file a 1099 with you, or?
Yeah, if you will make more than $600 in a year, we do ask that you fill out a 1099 for tax purposes, and that's one of the reasons why we have an 18-year. You have to be 18 years old to create an account. You can certainly submit ideas if you're younger. I think one of our inventors is 14, the inventor of the footnote, which is a whiteboard ruler that you can write on to mark things directly on the ruler. But I think that you need to have to be 18 to create an account for purposes like that.
Oh,
I like
cool.
that idea, the footnote there. That sounds kind of cool.
That's already in production.
So the kid was, it is too. That's cool. And so the levitating shoes, he had to go through the parents, right?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, that one we couldn't figure out how to do it. But this idea was fantastic. This kid had a great idea for making rulers better, and so it's going to be coming out sometime, hopefully in the next year or so.
Now, where do you guys get your capital for these products?
Well, a lot of the process just being directly handled by Quirky, means that we're simply just paying the salary of our designers, paying the salary of our marketing and sales folks. But our revenue comes from product sale, and of course we are a startup. We are still funded by investors. But the way that we make money to continue Quirky is it would be through product revenue, which is why we stress that rather than asking inventors to pay more money, because we really don't want to be making money off of inventors. We want to be making money off of the products that we help inventors bring to market.
Now, one final question before we say thanks and so forth. We talked about different kinds of products. Anything that can go into the store. Have you ever done any electronic types of things? Like Kindle-ish or something like that?
No, we have a lot of products that are made to work with, with Apple products or with electronics. We have a product called Converge, which is a charging station that can charge and rest multiple devices. Another one of our great products that's coming out soon is, or at least I certainly hope so, it's a Ray Solar Charger. It's currently in development. It's a solar-powered cell phone charger you can stick onto a window or.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the website. Looks great.
And so, and another product that we just recently finished designing is Siphon, which is an audio splitter that you can attach to your computer and switch seamlessly between listening to speakers or your headphone. And so, we definitely do have a lot of of great electronic products for people who are into tech and want to want to beef up their lineup of products.
Well, hey, we got to say thank you so much, Baron and Josh, for joining us today. We do appreciate you taking the time from your schedules to share what you have with Quirky, and I'm sure the people out here who have listened to this show will get an idea and excited, as Mel and I are.
I tell you what, I'm definitely excited.
Hey, I've already got 2 ideas to submit. I'm telling you. I mean, I got a way to improve a lemon thing, and and the wine thing. I'm already there. I mean, I should be making $100,000 before the end of the year. So I'm all good. So hey, thanks again, guys. Quirky.com, and thanks, and we'll be catching up with you folks very soon. Again, thanks for joining us. Now we're going to talk about, we have a tech tip and a biz tip. So this is time when we talk for a couple seconds about that. I usually don't talk about promoting products or anything like that, but recently we've had an opportunity to deal with a lot of antivirus and malware issues around from our clients. And the thing is that recently Symantec Corporation came out with a fantastic product. It's their Symantec Endpoint Protection 12.1. Don't have any clue why they named it 12.1 otherwise, because it is a completely brand new product. But ever since we have implemented that on our clients for the last 6 months, we have not had a single virus outbreak or a malware outbreak from anybody, as opposed to those individuals who may be using one of the other competitive products that don't have the scanning software that actually now you can get a virus from, and you can be the only one because they're polymorphic. Viruses change and they mutate constantly, so the old adage of having everybody having it and then writing a signature for it is gone. You need to be able to see abnormal traffic. So think about Symantec Endpoint Protection when next time you're thinking about that problem you're having with your system is slowing down, or you can't get anywhere and you feel like you've been hacked.
And I think we're going to have Symantec on in a couple weeks talk about mobile security.
Mobile security. They're on the 8th, and they're going to talk about how your phones need to be protected as well. So, Mel, what's your biz tip for the week?
Well, mine's really about job benchmarking and or job matching is really the key to performance. The cost of turnover is huge in any business, but what is the cost of disengaged employees? We've talked a lot about social media and how that might be part of the disengagement, but you think about the average salary of a U.S. employee is about $47,000, so it comes out to about $22.60 an hour. And if they're disengaged for just 2 hours a day, and there's 22 days in a month, and it's for 12 months, you're losing almost $12,000.
Oh, there goes my Facebook time.
There goes your Facebook time. So it's important. When you're working with employees that you have them engaged, and that's really the key is here. And job benchmarking is a tool that I use when I'm working with employees, and it's about matching the skills and developing a successful